guys, the What Would He Think crew, and we are back for a new video on your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. It's me, Omid.
I'm Alvan.
How's it going, guys? It's me, Amir.
And we got the crew back for a new video. It's been a while. We've been busy. Life has been lifing. But the boys will always assemble when it is a new Spider-Man or any new Marvel content that is getting good buzz. And we're going to check it out. And this is Disney Plus's new animated Spider-Man show, Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, which, if you guys know, it was originally supposed to be I believe, a prequel.
Freshman year.
Spider-Man the freshman year, which would be a prequel to, I believe, Civil War, and essentially chronicling how Tom Holland became Spider-Man before those movies. And I'm very happy to say that the creators came to their senses, or essentially changed the direction and said their spider sense. They came to their spider sense, and they said it would be too limiting to keep it as a prequel, so they did their own universe. And I'm pleasant to say, I think it's a success. It's a success. Have you guys watched the new episodes? Alvin didn't do his homework.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Once again, I have surprised the twins. I did watch both episodes. I've proved them wrong yet again.
Hell yeah.
I've seen both episodes of Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, and it is unfortunate for me to say this, but this show is woke.
Is goated.
Oh no, I'm joking. I'm joking.
I didn't know Alvin was like that.
This is a joke in reference to the voice actor. You guys know. I'm not gonna mention that anymore. I'm going to leave that at the door. I'm gonna mention solely about the content of the show. It's charming. It's fun. It's 2 episodes. I don't have a lot to say. It was like 40 minutes total. Good. I'll probably keep watching it. Maybe I'll binge it. I won't watch week to week, but 2 thumbs up from a Spider-Man fan. Amir, you're next.
I'm surprised you're not going to binge it, because, same thing. Watched the 2 episodes back to back this week. And like they said, I think it's a really, really good show. My only issue so far is I think the animation is lacking. Like, comparing this to X-Men 97, which was 2D and then had moments of 3D animation, this one for sure looks like the Disney XD kind of era of like 3D animation, like a Code Lyoko kind of show. And I think that is a little jarring, where like in action, I think it looks really good. It's like when it's just dialogue where things look really stiff and like background characters aren't moving. But I think that is something that will be ironed out once they get like season 2 and 3 and so on, because I do think this is actually a really strong product. And even though there was a lot of controversy with the main actor, I actually am very happy to say I thought the show was really good. Like maybe even like in the top 3 of the MCU shows that I've seen so far. I'm really enjoying it, and like Omid said, they have so much freedom that it's not tied to the MCU, and they have, they can do whatever they like, and that's what gets me so excited, because you don't know what to expect about characters, and like they have really great cliffhangers every episode. So I think it's actually like a slam dunk. This is a much needed victory for Marvel, even though their PR has been dropping the ball on like this, Captain America, and then with Deadpool Wolverine with Ryan Reynolds. But this was a great win. So
yeah.
Wasn't Code Lyoko on Cartoon Network? You said it was a Disney XD show.
I don't know. I never watched that fucking show. Did you?
I didn't watch it, but I believe Ramadan was actually a big fan of it. So I just wanted to.
Ramadan was a big fan. Yeah, Ramadan was a big fan of Code Lyoko.
Yeah, I want to defend his honor. But yeah, I think I was pleasantly surprised. I was going into this because we heard of the controversy with the main actor, because I believe he said, he was worried about the show being annoying and woke, which is really funny because when you're watching the show, this is definitely the most woke Spider-Man has ever been for a TV show. But I mean, I think it's done very genuinely, very earnestly, because I mean, representation is important. But I was actually just genuinely surprised with how likable Peter was. And also I told Amir this too, Alvin. I don't know if you felt it, but it was uncanny how much this guy sounded like Tom Holland. Where Amir said he
Great
almost
impression, I thought.
Yeah, because Amir says he almost sounded more like Tom Holland than Tom Holland. And part of me was like, I kind of agree with that. I don't know if it makes sense, but I felt it. What do you think about his voice?
Um, I don't know if you guys have seen the first season of What If.
No.
Okay.
Oh, was he Spider-Man in that too?
He was Spider-Man in the Marvel Zombies episode of What If, and he was actually playing Tom Holland's version, and it wasn't a spin-off, it wasn't his own universe. So if you think this is a really good Tom Holland impression, I would recommend checking the Marvel Zombies episode out from What If in season 1 because he sounded exactly like Tom Holland in that episode. I was blown away. I actually thought they got Tom Holland, but with the Sony Marvel Studios kind of thing, I don't know what the logistics are. But yeah, he's really good as Peter and Spider-Man. He's charming. Um, I I think this is a really fun kids show, but I mean, we've only seen the first 2 episodes. I can't really judge too hastily, but comparing it to the other animated series, I mean, we all know that X-Men 97 is like I feel like it just started stronger than this show, and I was instantly like the end of the first episode and the second episode that they dropped, it made me want to watch it week to week. However, for this one, I can kind of see where it would probably go because it follows a little bit of similar beats as the Tom Holland one, but not really. But yeah, I don't know. It just doesn't compel me enough as a Spider-Man fan to keep watching it week to week. But I will for sure wait till the full season drops to check it out because I do think that this could probably be like top 3 Spider-Man animated projects with the countless of Spider-Man animated projects that they have out. I think it would probably be the 90s Spectacular.
That would be insane if it's actually that good.
And this,
Spectacular,
right?
and then this.
Spectacular is my number one. Awesome. Maybe this takes number 2, but I see the potential.
That's insane. That's a really high compliment. Like if it can reach that levels,
yeah,
that's crazy. Because I mean, I thought one thing was so interesting and cool about the show is that like you're saying, they have so much to pull from. Like we had, I don't know if this is really a spoiler, but like they had Amadeus Cho in there, and they had like other classmates and like Lizard or Dr. Connor. So I'm just really really excited. Where I think even if this isn't as good as like X-Men 97, I think this almost feels a little bit more episodic than X-Men 97. Yeah. I think there's a lot of potential of like it's just adventure of the week, and he'll fight like. I think this week was like Butane, which was like a version of Pyro, I guess, like just a flamethrower villain. Like I actually wouldn't mind if every week is just kind of its own single episode and it doesn't need to connect to anything or feel grander. Because I mean, since he's so early in his career, like I don't even know if we're gonna get like a real Spider-Man suit, like the red and blue, until maybe the last episode. Honestly, I feel like we're gonna get the homemade suit like the whole show.
Maybe we'll get probably a real costume by the end of this season. But yeah, I do agree. I think it's almost I think the episodic nature of it makes it like feel like nostalgic or very retro, where it's like I don't know, it's comforting in a way, and also because I think what is really cool to see is like actually see his high school life, because that was I think some of the best stuff of Spectacular Spider-Man is seeing all the classmates, Liz Allen, Gwen Stacy, Harry Osborn, Flash, seeing how they all interact with each other. And I think, is it Nico Minori?
Yeah, Nico Minori.
He was cool.
I think she's a really cool new friend because I didn't know she was a runaway, I guess. So that's pretty cool that she's in the Runaways.
She's like a magician.
What's her power?
Yeah, she's a magic user pretty much.
Yeah, so I thought what was cool about this was it was giving us the familiar with a twist, but also giving us new things that like, oh, I didn't know that. Like, I think it's interesting to see Norman. I think it's been a long time since we actually seen a different Norman Osborn than Willem Dafoe, so that's pretty exciting. I don't know how they're gonna do Harry.
I don't know who's gonna be Green Goblin. Is it gonna be Harry or Norman? That's gonna be interesting.
I would kind of want it to be Harry, actually. I think that'd be really cool. I want it to be Harry. Because I would really hope cool. I would hope that Harry is still almost hated by Norman. I think that's a very interesting relationship to have with his son and father dynamic, and I think that would be really cool to see that. But maybe it's too dark. But yeah, I think I'm just very excited to see what's coming next. Doctor Strange was really cool in this, where it didn't feel so like sure they had an MCU character, but it still felt like it was separate from the MCU, which was very refreshing. It didn't feel like they had to shoehorn. He didn't feel shoehorned in. I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah, even though like, cause I know some people were talking about like, oh, they're changing how they get the spider, and it's because of an interdimensional rift, or I don't know. I'm guessing he's from a different universe, or is it just he
I
was
think
in
it was
a
like the
different
Null world,
location?
the symbiote world.
Yeah, but do you know? Did they say if it was going to be like a multiverse thing, or is it just he was in a different location? Like this is our Doctor Strange.
Oh, I
Uh,
think our Doctor Strange from a different planet. Like they were on a space. I took it as like a symbiote planet, but we don't know. I guess.
I took it as like it wasn't his dimension. Where when he
Yeah, I saw
landed,
his multiverse.
yeah, he was like, "Oh, I'm not supposed to
Yeah,
be here."
exactly.
Yeah, and I do like. I don't know how I feel about the idea of Peter getting his powers from an like not from his universe. Um, we'll see how it plays out, but he gets the powers. That's pretty much how he's supposed to be Spider-Man.
The
So I'm
ball,
kind of
yeah, the ball's going. They just hit the
yeah,
ground running.
exactly. The pacing is good. I will say like the 25-minute episodes, they they flow really well. Where sometimes it feels longer than it is, but I'm like, oh, they're just packing a lot into the time that they have. I agree with Amir though, where the animation feels a little bit stilted when
Yeah,
in the quieter moments for sure. But yeah, like Lonnie is great. Norman Coleman Domingo. I'm very excited to see how he voices Norman because he would be great in the main
live
timeline,
action.
bro. I'm telling you.
Maybe this is his audition. They're like, all right, if he's good in this show, he can
Yes.
be our main Norman.
Yes, I think he just got nominated for an Oscar. So bring in
Sing Sing.
Or
as
Was it Sing Sing or
yeah,
something?
bring in
Sing
as
Sing.
many, accolades and, big names for the franchise, please. Um yeah, I mean again, only 2 episodes can't really glean too much for me personally as a
Mm-hmm.
Spider-Man fan. Checks all the boxes. Yeah, I thoroughly
They like the
enjoyed it.
suit.
The suit is charming. I feel like I'm gonna keep saying charming. I do
Yeah.
my favorite part is the tank. I would have never thought to
Mm.
use a tank, and that's the part that kind of sets it apart from different homemade first iteration suits.
Web shooters.
Yeah, I actually love that he uses a tank rather than like the Tom Holland homemade suit, just kind of like pajamas, which this one is kind of too. Um,
Mm-hmm.
very good homemade suit, I will say, to set it apart from the MCU.
Amber, did you like
Also, I
his
thought
suit?
one thing was, what's up?
Did you like his suit? Or you can finish your thought and then answer the question.
Yeah, I'll answer your question first. I thought the suit works. I think, like Alvin said, it's very charming. Like, I don't know why, because I know when we were talking about Omid, for some reason I think I like it more than Tom Holland's homemade suit because I feel like
Same.
there's just more colors that break up like just all the red. I
Yeah.
think the homemade one is supposed to kind of feel like a homage to like Ben Riley. This one feels like this is something where he just had a regular football jersey and he just slapped a spider on it and he had like regular clothes and they just made the costume because like it's literally just a red mask and a pair of goggles. So like that's cool. I think the suit it's really cool. I would hope to
I
see
agree.
like a real version like by the end of the season because I don't want this to be like the whole show where it's just this like homeless variant. But yeah, what do you think?
I agree. I think I actually like it a lot more than the Homecoming suit because, as we were mentioning, I think the Homecoming suit not only does it look like pajamas, but it's like I think just so much red that it feels like a blob. But for this, I think since the majority of the costume is blue, it really makes the mask stand out, in my opinion. Like you said, the canisters were great. Yeah, I think the costume was sick. I think it was actually a very well made home first appearance suit for him.
And one thing I wanted to say is I thought it was really interesting. I don't know if you guys caught like when Norman is introduced for the first time, they pretty much like completely lifted the scene from Civil War, right? Like the song was the same, bring in the VHS or the DVD player. So that was really interesting. Like where if they're playing with established events that have happened in Tom Holland's Spider-Man and then flipping it in a certain way, that would be kind of cool. I mean, I'm guessing for a lot of people, like for them it's like deja vu. It's like, oh, I've seen this before, but then you see Norman, and I thought that's just a really great scene in itself. So I would like if they have more moments like that where it reminds us that even though it's not our Spider-Man, there are some similarities and some differences, which is cool.
Also, I had a question for you guys. I was telling this.
Oh no! I was like, I agree.
I was asking this to Amir and Alvan. I want to know your thoughts on it too. What are your thoughts on Aunt May? And also, I told Amir I don't really like how Peter just calls her May. To me, it always makes it feel like not the same type of relationship that it feels like a superior. I feel like it almost feels like either older sister, younger brother, or like more. I don't know. To me, it doesn't feel as much of like a familial relationship, in my opinion.
I hadn't really thought of that. It's something that I didn't really notice as well. But I guess if they're going again following the Tom Holland Spider-Man, May is younger, and I think in the movies he does also call her May instead of Aunt May and all of that. It doesn't bother me too much, but I think it fits for their dynamic where she's younger. Maybe she wasn't fully prepared to be a single mother, right? And again, it's probably hard without Ben. So, maybe I don't know actually. That's a very good question. I don't know where I was going with Uncle Ben being dead. I really don't know. I was thinking like I just had this kind of thing right now where if Amir is saying that, it follows a trajectory of Tom Holland's journey, I hope that season 2 doesn't follow like a Far From Home style story where he's not in New York.
Oh, dude, I think now you said I think they're for sure doing field trip. It's going to be a whole season outside of New York.
But if they do a season 3 No Way Home, 90s Spider-Man, spectacular Spider-Man, Christopher Daniel Barnes, Josh Keaton, bring them in for season 3, please. That is my wish list.
That would be insane.
That I can actually see that happening.
I can actually see that happening. Like if they kind of base this off of like the track,
Madam Web show or Madam Web in Spider-Man original.
Yes.
No. I mean like, if he's saying basing off of like the home trilogy, I think you might have actually called it. You might have actually predicted that. I wouldn't be surprised.
Okay. We'll come back in 17 years when the whole series is done because Disney Plus and animation. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Although they don't act like the show.
I think it's confirmed for 3 seasons.
Oh, it's already confirmed you got it?
Yeah. Because it was supposed to be freshman year, sophomore year, junior and senior year, I guess. So I think it's probably 4 seasons total.
It did confirm. I think it went to the 3rd. It got already renewed for season 3. I don't. I think probably knowing their track record, they'll probably go for 3 or 4.
Yeah, but it just feels like a Disney XD show, where that little block on Saturday morning, it has that same nostalgia, and it takes you back just seeing a Spider-Man cartoon. I don't know when the last time a Spider-Man cartoon that we watched aired. I know there's that Drake Bell and it was spectacular, right? So
I think Drake Bell was like we were older at that time, where we didn't care as much.
Yeah, exactly. So it feels good to kind of harken back to the roots. Feel young again.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those are my thoughts.
I think all around it looks like all of us to give it the thumbs up. Looks like we are definitely recommending it. If you haven't had a chance to check it out, because I know there's a whole controversy with the show, and even the writer, or like even I think it was the writer or the creator of the show, he was like, "Oh, yeah, the voice actor, he realized that he misspoke, and he's really like taking it serious, and he feels bad about how he presented the show like the day before it premiered, and it put such a stink on the franchise. But hopefully, they are being genuine and they didn't mean anything by their comment, because I think it is a good show. A lot of people probably put a lot of hard work into it, and we didn't really get to go into too much of the guests or the like supporting characters, but like Lonnie Lincoln I thought was really interesting. Nico Minori was great, so I'm just excited to tune in every week. I don't know if Omid, you're gonna want to watch it weekly.
I'm gonna try to. I think I'll probably watch it weekly. Honestly, I'm gonna try to keep up with that
same.
and Raiders as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys
Trailers
know.
is great.
You guys know about the release schedule for this show, right?
What, every Tuesday?
It's 2 episode
Was
premiere,
it every other week?
3 episodes for like 3 weeks in a row. They're
what?
trying to push this out so there's no overlap with
Out
Daredevil.
of the Fantastic Four?
No,
Oh, Daredevil.
Yeah.
Daredevil.
they're trying not to
So
have it
next week
overlap.
we're getting 2 episodes next week.
You're getting 3
Three.
episodes for the rest of the series.
Oh, that's great. That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's gonna make for the viewing much better.
yeah. It's like
Maybe worse.
it's
it'll
like a
be
little
worse
arc,
for,
I guess.
Yeah.
A whole hour.
Yeah.
Right.
I think it'll be worse for the legs of the show.
I agree.
But for the
I do think so too. Actually, I think that isn't a smart move. It really feels like they're dumping the show rather than
Yeah.
letting it find a fan base.
Yeah, but
Spider-Man doesn't need to find a fan base.
exactly
If
because he's
as long as
Spider-Man.
it's decent,
Yeah.
it's Spider-Man. Yeah.
Yeah, Spider-Man always has a built-in fan base. No matter what you dump or like whatever you create, people will always have eyes on that. So I think they took a calculated risk, and we'll see if it pays off or not. I mean, it already got renewed for 2 more seasons, 3 more seasons maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I understand for X-Men that they had to do weekly because I think X-Men's brand was in the gutter for a little bit with the last couple of movies. That I think Spider-Man doesn't need to have that caution. As long as I think if it's good, that's all it needs. All it needs to do is just be good, like be decent, and I think it'll get its viewers.
But because everything we've heard of, I don't know, you watched What If season 3, but it sounded like a lot of people thought that was a misfire.
Yeah. I heard.
it seems like that
Maybe
for
Parker.
like all of What If I'm being completely honest. Like no,
Yeah, I heard a lot of video essays on how they
Yeah.
hate What If and how they hate Captain Carter. She's
Yeah.
a plant.
Yeah.
A plant. Or-
like
Yeah.
no hate to the people who made that show,
What
but
the fuck?
no, legit, it's like, what is this? Like you're doing if one character was this instead of that. There's so many possibilities.
100%. I think all of their premises, like, they really did not make anything interesting. Like, I love T'Challa, and that's really cool that Chadwick Boseman got to have one final episode. But, like, who was asking if Black Panther was Star-Lord? Like, that is not a question that is interesting.
I would love to be in the writer room, and there's just be a fly on the wall for those meetings where like, I'm pretty sure there's an intern in the corner.
What if Howard the Duck had sex with, like, it's just so stupid. Kat Dennings.
Let's
Yeah,
go.
it's so stupid. Like,
I'm pretty sure
why was that their premise?
that guy in the writers' room was like, "What if I had sex with Kat Dennings?" But then he had to make it Marvel. She's like, "Who's the weirdest character I can pull out of my ass?" Howard the Duck.
Yeah.
And they're like, they wrote that, they greenlit it. That's what it feels like.
Yes.
It feels like a Chat GPT prompt.
Probably it was. Probably a couple of
honestly, it
words.
probably was.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
I think like, it would have been cool if you had what if Magneto ran the X-Men and you can just do a whole episode of them being much more radical, or like
Yes.
just do actual interesting premises like I don't know, like even just what if like Hulk died by the gamma bomb or something, or what if Betty became the Hulk? That would be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But instead we
Yes.
got Captain Carter 17 times.
Yeah.
And like I saw videos about it on like TikTok, and like I don't like Soups, he's a whole different like entity that I will not get into. But when you start agreeing with Soups, you're kind of like, damn,
There's
that's
a problem.
that's
There's a problem.
crazy,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
I'm like, oh shoot, he has a point.
Yeah.
But that is What If.
Overall, I mean, I think it was a great discussion. We've been gone for a little bit, and we were discussing off camera of possibly bringing back like a book club, just to, get more content out that we're interested in making, and hopefully you guys are interested in watching. Maybe even if we did a video like weekly of just keeping people up to date on what we're reading, because I know it was really interesting hearing you guys talk about Hulk Gray, and Alvan is going through Mickey 7. So yeah. It was just great having the guys back together,
Seriously, we're having the crew back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just I was telling Amir, I think we've talked about this on the show a lot, is what like us reading comic books, what has been so refreshing about it is I think we've been kind of expressing a disappointment in some of the stories or the shows or in the Marvel movies that like, oh, they're not giving us the stories we want, and like just actually expanding our horizon and just reading much more. Because like Amir was saying, like he was looking at the new Secret Wars omnibus and how the maker and that seems like awesome to him, and I'm like, it's just reading. There's just so much great stories out there that won't be made into movies probably ever, not for a very long time. That it's just, I don't know. It's even faster to read it. Like I went through this whole book in an hour. Like it was awesome.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Yeah.
I think stay tuned. We got big things for 2025. Oscar season is coming up.
Yes.
Right. What else? You know, we got a bunch of good comic book movies and non-comic book movies coming out. So, yeah, just stay tuned to the channel. We're going to try to be more consistent. Doing what we do, loving what we love, and, you know, doing it together. So that's really what it's about.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well said.
Yeah, but those were our thoughts on your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man episodes 1 and 2. Let us know your guys' thoughts down below. Subscribe, like the video. It's been me, Alvan.
Time to get sticky.
Oh, okay.
The Rivals.
Yeah.
He says that. It's a reference to Rivals.
Yeah.
It's me, Omid, and this has been your Friendly Neighborhood weekly podcast. Be sure to hit subscribe, and we'll see you soon.
Yes, sir.
Have a great one, guys.
See ya.
See you next time.